definitely a jiu-jitsu guy. He's not afraid to mix it up, so I'm looking forward to seeing him fight. I don't know much about his opponent, but we're going to find out.
As the Vaseline's being applied right now to Mazepa, this should be a fun one. It's not welterweight, just a little above catchweight at 175. Welterweight's 170. Should be an interesting fight.
It definitely should be an interesting fight. Again, you know, Frank coming from having experience in the cage already, he's definitely going to bring the pressure on this fight. And if you notice, it's our first fight with no novice rules. My favorite, because again, that changes the game, that transition, that ground and pound on the ground. Punching somebody in the face literally levels the playing field.
I agree, especially when their head's against the ground. That's a whole different ball game.
Punching a black belt in the face makes him a purple belt. It does.
It does.
Period.
You're 100% right, Will.
And punching a purple belt makes him a blue belt.
We are about to see a different style. For those watching, like Will said, no shin guards, ground and pound to the head's allowed. Elbows are still not allowed. Knees to the head are still not allowed. Those are illegal in the amateur MMA.
One thing I'd like to see change personally is elbows to the body. If you can knee to the body, I don't know why you can't elbow to the body, because here's the thing.
I would agree.
These guys and girls have to transition from amateur to pro. So when you're in pro, you can do all that. So again, being able to have that transition, I think would benefit some of these guys and girls that have that plan long term to go to that big stage.
That's an interesting thought, Will, because, right now these sanctioning bodies in New York State are all third-party sanctioning bodies. USMTA, which was the first to get licensed in New York as a third-party sanctioning body, but they all have separate rules for, amateurs, the way, how many fights you need to wear shin guards. Elbow, though, isn't a rule universal.
Elbow is a NISAC rule, New York State Athletic Commission rule. You're correct in the novice requirements and that sort of thing, but I would like to see a little bit more give in the upper-level amateur bouts that will help them transition to that pro level.
I was speaking to some of the commissioner deputy at a recent fight I was at, asking them, are they planning to universally bring together all the rules for amateur? I really think there should be universal. Like high school football, no matter what state you're in, it's all the same rules. But it's all the same, no matter what, but you're in different states, you're in different areas. I don't know why that can't happen for amateur MMA in New York.
I think that was the goal originally when they started the sanctioning bodies, but originally there was only going to be 2 or 3 of them. Now I think there's 5 of them in New York.
There's about 8.
Is there 8?
There's at least 7 sanctioned, registered and licensed. I believe it might be 8 now because I know there was a new one getting licensed.
It's very difficult to regulate that. I know on one show up in Whitehall, a gentleman fought who was actually suspended. So, the oversight is tough. I'd be curious to see how we can wrangle that in.
No, I'm going to throw up to the ring announcer, Mike Flower.
The following contest scheduled for 3 rounds in our catchweight 175-pound division. Introducing first to my left, fighting out of the red corner, representing R3 MMA and Garage MMA out of Morris, New York, Frank the Tank Mazepa. And his opponent to my right, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Cha-Cha Muay Thai, Phuket, and Evolution Grappling, he is Jonathon Dilorenzo. And your referee for this bout is Mr. Nels Larson.
I don't know anything about Jonathon Dilorenzo except that he is excited to fight. Look at this man.
Oh, yeah, he's ready to get going, that's for sure. He's hanging out. It looks like he's ready to take off for a track meet.
He's ready to run across the damn cage.
Yeah. This is a catchweight 175-pound fight. See if Frank the Tank's going to have a nice little Saturday.
I don't know. Ryan Dilorenzo looks like the tank in there.
Yeah, that guy's put together, that's for sure. He's a nice catch of the leg. But Frank the Tank, and Frank the Tank goes right to work on the head.
No, going for that arm. Going for that arm.
Oh, I thought that was going to snap, to
now
be honest.
Transitions to the triangle. He's got it locked. Let's see if he can create the angle. Can he create that angle? Let's cut off the carotid artery. Frank's doing a good job
tight.
to defend, but he doesn't have the angle right now. Let's see if he can trap that ankle and turn. He still doesn't have a good angle on the carotid just yet. If he can sink that in, he will. He's got to pull that head down. There he goes. 2 hands to the head. Nice
There's
job.
a tap.
out.
Impressive.
Good job.
Jonathon Dilorenzo with the first round submission. And Frank the Tank, unfortunately, will not have a nice little Saturday afternoon. Impressive finish. Just like you were saying, it was like he was listening to you, instruct to finish the move. And, you know, Dilorenzo, he got right out there and got the business.
You know, you can tell he's very well versed in the positions because he knew exactly what angle he needed to create that choke on the carotid artery.
So first round submission for Jonathon Dilorenzo via leg triangle. So impressive. You know, I agree. He looks like the Tank in there.
He looks like he's ready to fight again.
Yeah, well, this Tank just got busted.
And here's the thing, Frank Mazepa comes from a jiu-jitsu background, so I got to give that much more credit to John Dilorenzo.
Agreed, as we're waiting on the time of the submission.
Thank you.
Both fighters congratulate each other on a well-fought fight. I'm going to throw up the ring announcer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the official scorecard. 42 seconds into the first round by way of an armbar for your winner, Jonathon Dilorenzo.
He looks like he's ready to go hit the slots.
He looks like he can fight again.
I think I'm going to fight him in the craps table.